The following episode of Dad vs. Daughter was made possible by a contribution from WizKids. Dicebot Megafun from WizKids is a game about fighting robots. It has real-time dice rolling and grabbing of resources where you're going to build your robot in order to fight the other robots, and the last robot standing is going to earn victory points, and once you get to 3 of those, you win the game. So let's check out how to play and then find out what Dad's game group thought of this. So we have the game set up for a 2-player. Each player is going to get dealt 6 cards from the deck, and you just kind of fan them out like that. They're going to be in your hand, they're going to be secret. Each player also has 6 dice. So what we're going to do is we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and then we're all going to roll our dice in the middle. So we just go 1, 2, 3. Now this is the dice pool that we have to work with. Now this is a real-time aspect because what we're going to want to do is grab dice that correspond to what we have on top of our card. So I'm looking and I've got a lot of battery components. So this is all real time. So we're looking and we're grabbing, we're putting those on the red spots on our robot. And then the last thing we'll grab is the head. So I'll grab this. You can only grab 1 die at a time. And as soon as you have your robot filled, then you place the last one on the head. Now the head has special abilities, and I'll talk about that in a moment. So now what we do is, now that our robots are ready to fight, we look at our hand of cards. Now I'll explain how the cards work here. This is the symbol that we need to activate this card. So I have to have this part on my robot. This is a shield. This only prevents damage. It doesn't do actual damage. So I'll show you one that does damage. This is the bomb. You'll see I need basically what looks like a car battery in order to activate this. This is the speed. So this determines whose weapon actually hits and which ones miss, because this reveal is a simultaneous. So we're all just kind of doing our own thing, but at the same time. This shows who I am attacking. In a 2-player game, we're just attacking each other. But if we had a 4-player or a 3-player game, I would be attacking the robot to my left. And then this shows the amount of damage that I would do to that robot. We start with 6 health on our robots. So we're just going to show you real quick. I'll choose a card. We put them face down. And then as soon as everybody has their cards face down, then we flip them up and we resolve. Now, I have a 3. I can activate it. I can put my dice on there to show that I can activate it. Her card has a speed of 5 and deals a damage of 1. And it also says victim plays next weapon face up. Mine just has flavor text which says this baby makes a big bada boom. And that's how we say it. We like to talk that way when we play this. So the 5 is actually going to go off. It's going to hit me for 1 damage. My 3 is slower than the 5. So she evades my attack. The dice go back into the pool and the cards get discarded. Then the next thing we do is we do the same thing over again. And then we reveal, we pay the cost. Now, she has a value or a speed of 1. I have a speed of 3. So my bomb will go off and deal 3 damage to her. And since that speed is a 1, it actually will miss me. Even though it says laser always deals a minimum of 1 damage. You actually have to be able to land the hit in order to deal the damage. So again, the dice go off, and then we just keep doing that. The end of the round is when we get rid of all 6 of our cards. Okay, so let's just say, for instance, that you cannot pay for a card. You still choose a card face down. You know, I'll choose this card. Choose a card face down. You reveal. And I pay for this, and you cannot pay for the Blackstone device. So when you can't pay for it, that means that this card essentially doesn't do anything. It doesn't block any damage. It doesn't deal any damage. I still deal 3 damage. So I'll deal 3 damage to her. And then now that we look, and you have no life left, right? Because you've lost 6 life. So you actually would be off there. Okay. So that's the end of the round. Now, I would get a victory point chip. Now, the victory point chips, you play until you have 3. So at the end of this first round, the last robot standing, basically, after all 6 cards have been exhausted, would get this chip. So we play the 3 of those. All right, so now let me talk about the special abilities that the head provides. Now at the bottom of our robot cards, you'll see the head's special abilities. So if we have the little robot arm, that will allow us to draw a random weapon to use this turn. So say if we had something we couldn't pay for, then we would probably want that. The little battery icon adds 2 damage to my weapon. The yellow icon lets me pay for any 1 part cost. The green says discard, then restock parts. So any open spots I had on my robot at that time, I would be able to restock, which would be very good if I had weapons that I did not have dice for. So it's a chance for me to get dice that I can actually use. The little blue one there lets me add +1 to my speed, and then the shield says prevent 2 damage from every source. So if a bunch of people were attacking me, that would be where that would come into play. So that is how your robot fights. Let me also talk about these special cards here. Now those cards come into play for the King of All Bot Kind advanced rules. Now these are something I think that once you play your first game, you're going to want to include these as well. So let me kind of show you and talk you through a sample one of those cards. So here we have the Temple of Boom. It will tell you play before cards are revealed. So this allows all weapons deal +1 damage this round. Again, they have to be able to hit the target. These cards have an activation cost, and you'll see that down here in the bottom. It's a red icon, and it'll tell you how much. So I need 1 of the red ones. This is basically the back side of the victory point chips. So whenever you knock one of the robots out, so in the case of my example earlier on, I would have gotten 1 victory point, and I also would have got another token to show this symbol. So whenever I want to power that special ability, I spend these as kind of currency. So like I said, in this case, I need 1 of those, then I would pay for it with this. And then I would get this ability for that turn. And then in order to use it again, I would have to be able to power it up. So in order to collect more of these, I'll have to be the one who deals the killing blow to the other robots. All right, now it's time for my gaming group's review of this game. They all pretty much said the same thing, which is why I don't have any video reviews from them. This is not their style of game. They don't like the fact that it is too random. Basically, you're at the mercy of the luck of the dice rolls. You're at the mercy of the luck of the draw. Some of them also do not like the real-time aspect because they don't like that in their games. So that was really all the negatives. They did mention that, you know, it does play fast. It is an easy game to teach, but it was not their game. Now, Dad's review. This game is a fun game if played with the right group. Now, obviously, my gaming group, this is too light for them and too random for them. However, I see this as a good game that you can play with non-gamers, younger gamers who aren't really all that into strategy and such, and they want to just sit down, chuck some dice, and have a good time. This is also, you know, could be an end of night game where you have consumed a lot of beverages and you want some stupid fun just to play this. That being said, there are some things that I do have issues with. Not really a lot, other than what, you know, my gaming guys have already mentioned. The title of the game. When you have to put Megafun in the title, that's usually a turnoff for a lot of people because it sounds like you're trying to sell the game too much. I think if it would have been, you know, something like Dicebots or Dicebot Battle, that would have probably have been better. I do like the fact that you do get a huge stack of weapon cards, and they're all different kinds. The artwork on the cards is, you know, it's good, it's functional. You know, there's your laser, your sledge, your drill, but you know, here you're going to be attacking every opponent. The question mark, like I said, you get to pick who you're attacking. The arrow will point to whoever you're going to fight against. And, you know, again, that was one of the negatives because they want to have more control over who they're fighting and who they're trying to take out. And speaking of fighting robots, let me actually introduce you to the robots that we have available in this game. We have Tango. we have Domino, we have Delta, and we have Volt 1. Now, the robots are all the same. It's just the artwork and their names are different, but they all have the same abilities. They all have the same health. So I just wanted to show you that. So we also have a lot of these different Killbot cards, and I showed these off in the unboxing, but they have different costs. Like this one costs 2. Most of them are +1 and 2 costs. There's actually a +3, but they all have really cool names. So the dice are good quality. They're not stickers. You know, the symbols on the dice are nice and colorful. Also, because they are unique symbols, you don't have any colorblind issues. So the components are really good. Again, final review from Dad, it's a good game. You just have to have the right group to play this with. So that is Dicebot Megafun, and we will catch you guys next time. So let's say you want to play this game and you want to make it a whole themed night. You know, get your family together, your kids. What are you going to watch? Well, there's actually a perfect movie for this that features fighting robots, and that is Real Steel, starring Hugh Jackman. And if you watch our channel, you know I like me a good Hugh Jackman movie. So Real Steel is about this washed up boxer who gets hooked up with this kid, and they find this robot, and they get into this kind of underground robot fighting, and then they go to the big time, and they got to face off, you know, against the ultra super cool robot. And so a lot of robot fighting, perfect for this movie. So watch this movie, and then you're really going to be in the mood to play a board game about fighting robots. If you would like to support us, you can visit patreon.com/dadvdaughter.
Like and follow us on Facebook to stay current on our show schedule, sneak peeks at future shows, and to interact with us.